Early this morning, I received an answer from the Most High in regards to a question that I asked him. Today is December 25th, 2024. And on yesterday, Pastor Philip Mitchell came across my feed, and he was speaking about the two sides of those who celebrate Christmas and those who don't. He spoke of them as being non-essentials. And then he told both sides not to slander the other side, because if somebody wants to celebrate Christmas, they can celebrate Christmas. And if people don't want to celebrate Christmas, then nobody has the right to slander them. He told us where he stood on the matter. And he did a comparison about birthdays and how we celebrate our own birthdays. And to me, it felt very compromising, because we're omitting the scriptural truth. And so watching that video, it didn't set well with my spirit. And I said, Father, what say you? And then I went to sleep for the night. And in the wee hours of the morning, I had this vision and this dream. The dream began, it was in, it looks like the church banquet hall. And the church that I was in, not saying it was his church, but the church that I was in, I could tell that we were preparing food for a homecoming. So there was the kitchen ministry leader. She was in the kitchen, and there were those of us outside setting up the dining hall. Well, she burst out of the kitchen and she started yelling at one of her assistants. So she yelled at her, and then she went back out. She came back out again, and she got in her face and started yelling at her and hollering at her. And then she started slapping her on the top of her head. I felt very uncomfortable, and I could see that the girl she was talking to and yelling at was feeling sadness and embarrassment. And as I looked around the room, nobody was saying anything. Nobody spoke up. Nobody right next to her said anything. And I said, is anybody going to say anything? Now, the ministry leader had gone back into the kitchen. I said, what is wrong with you? Nobody's going to say anything. Nobody came to her aid. So I got up and I went over to see the young lady, and I said, are you okay? And I embraced her. And then I went into the kitchen. I went into the kitchen to righteously correct that ministry leader. I was flipping tables in the spirit, telling her how she shouldn't be talking to this person like that. She was wrong and out of line for hitting her. She owes her an apology. I mean, I was checking her behind righteously. And then I came out of the kitchen, and the dream ended. And as I was awakening, I said, okay, I need the interpretation, Father. Tell me what you were showing me. And this is what he said. He said, these pastors in these churches know the truth, but they're in too deep, that they're compromising because they want to keep everybody happy. Because they know that if they would start talking about the truth, the parishioners are going to look at them and say, how come you didn't tell us sooner? They know that if they start admitting that they know the truth, and that most of us out here that are spreading the word of truth, we are right, they know that it's going to affect their attendance. They don't want to have to backpedal. They know that it's going to affect their offerings. So they'd rather compromise than take a stand. And the Father is not happy about that. The Father is not happy about that. In my own situation, 2019, when I brought up the subject of this holiday is not for people who follow the Most High. They're not for those who consider themselves followers of Christ. Is that right? And I got no backlash. And that year, that Christmas, I decorated not one thing. Tree didn't go up. I didn't purchase any gifts. We did nothing. But then the enemy came and struck the house with COVID. And never was it admitted or was it taught to the people that they know the truth. It was told to me that, you got to give it to them a little bit at a time. Truth is truth. And Pastor Mitchell said something about people slandering people. How is telling the truth based upon scriptures, line upon line, precept upon precept, how is that slandering anyone? When are we going to stand on truth, pastors? When are we going to stand on the principles that you quote unquote preach about, but you scurry over certain subjects so you don't have to touch them? You're going to be uncovered. The Most High God of Israel, Yahuwah himself, is going to uncover you. You all need to check yourselves. Because for me, it offends me when I see that you are withholding the truth from your people. That means you are leading sheep to the slaughter. Blood is on your hands. I want you to remember this. Remember this post. Blood is on your hands because you have the podium to righteously lead people, but you choose not to because you're straddling the fence. You lukewarm pastors need to repent. Y'all take care. Take these words, take this vision, this dream to the Father, the Ruach, in prayer.